Hey YouTube, name's Joe. I'm going to go ahead and do a review today on the reel that I use for catfish and other fishing applications. Is the Shimano Tekota 600, and that is a level wind reel. It's very similar to the Toriums as far as fit and finish, all the features, things like that, except for it's got the level wind feature. Um, I'm going to go over things I like, things I don't like, and basically just the overall features, and the feel of the reel, and just overall what I think about it. I'm going to go ahead and start with some of the features that I like, and that is that everything on this reel is really oversized. The handle is large, but not too large. It fits in your hand really well. It's very ergonomic. I don't know if you can see the indentations there on it, but I mean you can really grip this reel and it feels very natural, which is extremely important to me. If you guys have ever fought a large fish and you got that plastic, cheap feeling handle, you just don't have the confidence. With this reel, it's not an issue. Everything's really tight. There's no wiggle in the handle, as you'll get with like the Pin 500 jig masters and things like that. The clutch is really oversized, and I mean it's hard to hit back. So you're not going to be sitting there fighting a fish. Your hand slips. You're not going to hit that and throw it into free spool and jack your line all up and lose your fish. So I mean that it's got a real good spring tension to it, and everything's audible about this reel. And another speaking of audible, the drag will click. Every turn you're gonna really be able to hear how much drag you're putting down. You're not gonna sit there and have to turn it, not knowing how much drag you're putting down. You're gonna be able to hear that. So the clicking drag, star drags, is a very nice feature. Another big feature that I like on this reel is the oversized clicker button. So you turn your clicker on, that's off. But if you turn your clicker on, or when you turn your clicker on, it's real easy to push it forward, and the clicker is just very loud, very loud. I love a loud clicker. Some people don't care for it. I like it because if I'm doing something, I want to hear that strike, and with this reel, that's not a problem. And the way that the clicker is designed internally, it's pretty solid. I mean, it's not going to hurt nothing to leave it on when you're fighting your fish if you choose to do so. Um, the It has 4 ball bearings. It's pretty smooth. It's not the smoothest reel I've ever used, but I mean, for being a level wind reel, it's relatively smooth. Um, the one thing that I will say that I don't care for on this reel is the drag washers. It comes with a drag washer with a material called a Dartanium, and they're great. I mean, they're smooth and everything, but the problem with them is when you tighten your drag down and you're fighting that fish and you get it in close to the boat, a lot of you, including myself, will turn that drag off just a little bit, just in case that fish decides to make a last ditch run. It can cause you to break your line. Well, problem what I've noticed is when you do that and you turn them down on this reel, the drag pressure does not drop until you crank the handle a couple times or until some line starts to come out. So that could be a problem. Look into it. Um, I don't care for that, and the way I'm going to correct that, and I recommend for anybody who works on their own reels, is to put those carbon fiber drag washers in it, whichever ones you choose, and you can run those dry or with some grease, preferably drag grease. That's made for high temperatures, and it smooths the drags up a little bit. Um, the reel so far, I haven't had any issues out of it. I've landed some pretty big blue cats, in a 40, 50-pound range, and some decent sized flatheads. I haven't really put the reel to the test yet, but so far over the course of 6 months, I haven't had any issues out of it, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a rumor to rest. Okay, a lot of people say that this reel doesn't cast well. That is not true. It casts fine. I'm running 65-pound braid, and I believe I've got 300 and I want to say 370 yards of braid with some mono backing down in there, and it casts great. I mean, with a 10-foot rod, 11-foot rod, or whatever, I used a 10-foot, casting 4 to 6 ounce leads, or even 3 ounce leads, it casts fine. Now, I wouldn't be putting it on a 12-foot surf rod and pitching, 6 ounce lead 120 yards with it, because that gear in the level line system might give out on you. I just won't test that. I mean, that's not what the reel was designed for. It primarily is designed for trolling. Can you cast with it? Yes, you can. And the guys in the boats, it's not an issue anyway. You're not needing to cast, 100 yards. But I mean, as far as casting goes, it casts well. Don't let the reviews fool you. They do cast well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I don't really like about it. I can't really think of anything, so I guess that's a good thing. It's great. I like it, and for those of you that are going to use it for saltwater or things like that, it's anodized. All the metal It's all anodized, and it's a one-piece aluminum frame. It's not machined. I think it's die cast, but it's still pretty strong. It's got side plates, and it's got a graphite side plate here covered by an aluminum side plate for, I guess, extra rigidity. I don't know, but it's not a problem. The reel's putting down 18 pounds of drag. You're not going to be twisting and breaking graphite with it. But that's another thing, 18 pounds of drag, which is more than you need for catfish, and that's where it comes in that you can use this for multiple applications. You can take this reel out for king salmon. You can use it for catfish. You can use it for bottom fishing at your pier. So that's why I like them. Is if you catfish, you can take this reel and say you go on vacation somewhere with salt water. You can use it. It'll work just fine, and it's got enough drag to really, put some big fish down. It's really good. So anyway, that is my review of the Shimano Tekota 600, and I hope you liked it. I'm gonna hit on one more thing before I go, and that's maintenance, guys. If you've got a reel like this, you've spent your good money on it, and you don't maintain it, it's not gonna last you. If you run it, you might get a season or two out of it, and then it breaks, and it's because you haven't lubed it, you haven't taken it apart, you haven't checked the drags. Especially with the level line system, you guys have to keep this clean and lube it. So after every trip, I recommend spraying it down with some lukewarm water, and then dab it dry, and then go in there and blast some of that dirt out if there is any. Like say if you dropped it in the dirt, and go ahead and put a little bit of oil in there and just maintain it. Another little thing I do is you put a little drop of oil right in here, right there, and just kind of spin this handle in case you get any sand or dirt or anything. It'll kind of help keep any kind of corrosion out. So anyway, but like I said, that's my review of the Tekota 600, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I didn't miss anything. If you guys would like, and I get enough requests for it, I'll take this reel apart when I do my annual cleaning, and I'll go ahead and show you guys how to do that. Because there are some little parts and you don't want to lose them, and I can show you some little tips and tricks to getting them back in that will save you a lot of time and frustration. But anyway, name's Joe. Hope you liked it. Please subscribe and like, and more videos to come. Thanks, YouTube.